Mauricio Pochettino is reportedly going to leave Paris Saint-Germain imminently. We know that the club and the board already dismissed him and spoke to him about not wanting him to continue. This came to light over the 1st and 2nd of February 2022. It is now reported by Le Parisien, one of the most credible French outlets and credible football outlets in European football, that Mauricio Pochettino also wants to leave. Of course, this is after just securing his first Ligue 1 title. But there's been boos, there's been fallouts with players. He hasn't got the best out of Lionel Messi. It hasn't quite been right. And of course, a disappointing Champions League exit to boot. What next for Mauricio Pochettino? Who is going to replace him? We're going to delve into all of that on the Done Deal show. But make sure like buttons are being smashed. You're subscribing to the Football Terrace. But Poch sacked and exit soon. Mauricio Pochettino will imminently be removed as a PSG coach. The board wants him gone and he wants out. A very strong headline from Le Parisien. They want him gone. They want to remove him. They want him out of his position. And this won't come as a shock to anybody. And I tell you why this won't come as a shock to anybody. Go back to the 1st of February. Go search the news on the 1st and 2nd of February surrounding Mauricio Pochettino. We actually, at the Football Terrace, you can see our thumbnail here from that video. We actually just scale that back a little bit. You can see the date just there as I highlight it. The 2nd of February just there. We spoke about it in a lot of detail, but it all came from Le Parisien. We shared the details at the time that the board had already informed him that he was moving on. This isn't new news from the point of view that they wanted him out. The difference is now is Mauricio Pochettino himself wants to go. There is talk that he could be gone before the end of the actual playing season now that they are champions. I can't remember in my lifetime a situation like this where a manager has won a league title. He could be gone before the official trophy parade goes ahead. New managers are vying for his job. It all feels a little bit surreal. And it's interesting, really, because for a fair while now, I've kind of pushed the notion that I don't think that Poch has done a particularly great job. I've always felt it. I've always felt that he has... There's always been something missing in this role. There's always been something not quite right about him as the Paris Saint-Germain manager. He hasn't been able to get the best out of this very talented squad. He hasn't been able to resolve some of the player power issues. By the way, lots of managers have struggled with it. So this isn't specific to Mauricio Pochettino. I believe the baggage of him being a quote-unquote bottler, I think, has surfaced amongst Paris Saint-Germain fans, and they're not happy with him. Their exit in the Champions League was almost the epitome of this in very many ways, because they're leading, they're in a comfortable position. Real Madrid really hadn't done too much at all over the course of both games until the kind of final 20, 30 minutes of the match. Benzema masterclass, and then they controlled the game, and PSG offered nothing else in the other direction. This was a major, major problem. This club has been created. I know they already existed before the new owners came in, but essentially they're a Champions League club. Their job is to win the Champions League. Winning leagues and domestic trophies in France means nothing to the Qatari owners. It means zero, zilch. The same as the trophies and the league titles that he's won. They mean nothing in the grand scheme of football. No one cares. Mbappe can't be World Player of the Year playing in France. Listen, loads of people love Neymar. I think he's an excellent football player. But his credit in the game has diminished since joining PSG because he's not doing it in one of the big boy leagues. He's not doing it in the Liga. He isn't doing it in Serie A, the Premier League, or in the Bundesliga. You have to be in one of those four places first and foremost, for people to take what you're doing very seriously, unless you're doubling up in the Champions League as well. And I'm talking about a team effort. If you're winning Ligue 1 and the Champions League, you're a serious team. You're just winning the French League and continually bottling the Champions League. I know they got to one final, but they didn't show up in that either. No one is going to take you overtly seriously. Poch was meant to come in and bridge that gap. He hasn't done it. Late Jan, early Feb, they said, you've got to move on. You've got to go. We want you out. Now, what's very intriguing to me is who is going to be the replacement. Could we see Poch back at Tottenham? And I say that for very good reason, because it has been reported, as you can see here, that Antonio Conte has offered himself to Paris Saint-Germain on an initial 2-year basis to replace the outgoing Mauricio Pochettino. Now, I want to know what Tottenham fans think about this. How does this hit? Where's your head at with this? Antonio Conte potentially coming in to replace Poch. Now, the report says that Paris Saint-Germain are not overtly keen. Paris Saint-Germain want Zinedine Zidane. I think everybody knows this. Okay, it's one of the reasons why Zidane wasn't keen on Man United back in November, is because he was waiting for PSG. He wants to go manage in France. Great. Even if Antonio Conte doesn't get the job, what does this say about Tottenham? What does this say about the respect that Antonio Conte has for your club? And a lot of people won't take this over. Some people ignore this. This is football fans all over. Le Parisien, highly credible outlet, massively popular outlet. Now, they'll get a lot of Tottenham fans will disregard it, and they'll look for stories from Le Parisien in the past that haven't kind of come to fruition and go, they're not credible. They're a verified outlet with over 3 million subscribers. You very rarely see their stories kind of debunked or pushed back straight away by any of the tier ones. I believe there's an element of truth in this. I believe there is an element of Antonio Conte going, hang on a minute, where we are is fine, but this is a massive opportunity. And interestingly, if you're Tottenham right now, what kind of message does this send? And I don't really know myself. I'm just trying to think about it. What kind of message does this send to the dressing room? If he offers himself to PSG say no, and then Tottenham just roll over and let Antonio Conte tickle their belly. It's not a strong message. It's a message that maybe tells players they can do what they want. It's a message that tells agents they can do what they want, because Tottenham will take this tomfoolery. They'll be walked over like a doormat. So I really want to understand what Tottenham fans want. However, there could be an opportunity here. Poch is going to be free. Poch is going to be available. Whether Antonio Conte gets the job or not, maybe you just get rid of him. If he gets the PSG job, he's going to leave and you'll be compensated. Maybe you want Poch back. Maybe there's a way of working with Paris Saint-Germain to make this all come together. And even if PSG say no to Antonio Conte, we want Zidane. Maybe, just maybe still go, right, well, Conte, you don't want to be here. If Poch is up for coming back, that could be the answer. So maybe Spurs fans are kind of less angry with Antonio Conte because it can give them back. What we all know some Spurs fans have never got over that breakup. They have never got over the fact that Maurizio Pochettino has gone. Some are so desperate for it to happen again and for it to come back. And we see this on a very regular basis across socials. So I do want your take on him offering himself up. But overall, look, I mean, this is a very interesting situation that has transpired with Mauricio Pochettino, in the sense of he wins his first league title. He wants to go himself, which tells you things aren't right. And I remember making a lot of content about this and people telling me that I was sensationalizing things and you're reading too much into it. I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming because there was too much smoke for there to be absolutely no fire whatsoever. So am I shocked? Absolutely not. Where Poch goes next, will Antonio Conte go into Paris Saint-Germain? I don't know. I don't know at all at this moment in time, but I wouldn't look beyond it. Spurs have always had a soft spot for him, and they tried to get him back. They tried to get him back last summer. That's how we knew there was issues with Poch, by the way, because that was a situation that could happen. He also, of course, flirted with Manchester United. In fact, he was interviewed by Manchester United in the Erik ten Hag appointment. So we know he's been looking to leave. It should be a shock to nobody. Like, it'd be weird if anybody was shocked by this. Listen to the credible outlets. They're not always your typical tier ones, but they're very, very credible indeed. But look, I want your views and I want your opinions. Poch gone. Where does he go next? Who's going to replace him? What impact will this have across Europe? Make sure you're smashing the like buttons. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace. Until next time, my people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you soon. Thank you.